Carlos was passionate about retro video games. He spent hours browsing obscure forums in search of hidden gems, games forgotten by time, until one night, he found something that made him hesitate. A thread titled Eterna Noctis, the forbidden game, appeared in a nearly abandoned online community. According to the comments, it was a canceled game from the 90s, and no one knew its creator. Some said that those who played it suffered hallucinations, extreme insomnia, and, in the most disturbing cases, unexplained disappearances. Almost all download links were broken, but Carlos, with his insatiable curiosity, found a site on the dark web where the file was still available. Ignoring the warnings, he downloaded the game. When he ran it, the screen went black for a few seconds before displaying the title, Eterna Noctis. There were no options, just a single button that read, Play. Carlos pressed Enter, and the game began. A dark landscape appeared, with a faceless character walking through a pixelated world, surrounded by shadows that seemed to be watching. The music was strange, a haunting murmur that grew more intense as he progressed. Soon, he noticed something unsettling. Some objects in the game resembled his own room. First, a painting, then his desk, until, in the corner of the screen, a pixelated figure started appearing briefly. As he explored, the settings became more detailed. He transitioned from simple pixelated rooms to spaces that seemed pulled from his own memories. His childhood home, a park where he used to play, the hallway of his apartment building. Each scene felt more and more familiar. Carlos tried to exit the game, but the option to quit had disappeared. His character moved forward automatically until stopping in front of a door with his name written on it. Then, the door in the game opened. At the same time, Carlos heard the creaking of his own door. His monitor shut off. His room was left in darkness. He held his breath, feeling an unusual coldness. A soft sound, like bare feet brushing against the floor, moved across the room. And then a whisper echoed behind him. You shouldn't have played. Carlos quickly turned his head, but he saw nothing, just darkness. When his computer turned back on by itself, the game was still open, but with a new message. You are now part of Eterna Noctis. The screen displayed an image, his own room, but from an impossible angle. There was someone else with him. A loud knock echoed at his bedroom door. Carlos's heart pounded wildly. He didn't dare move. Then, the screen showed something new. A countdown. 10, 9, 8. Desperate, he tried to unplug the computer, but the power cable was gone. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. His hands trembled as the countdown reached 3, 2, 1. The screen went black. But this time, the game didn't close. A new line of text slowly appeared on the screen. It's here. Carlos felt a chill run down his spine. With a trembling motion, he slowly turned his chair. The room looked the same, but the air had become thicker, as if something invisible was present. Suddenly, a sharp knock echoed against his window. He ran to it and looked outside. The street was empty, but on the game screen, his character was now standing in front of an identical window. Only in the game's reflection, a dark figure was staring at him from behind. Carlos's breathing quickened. He backed away from the computer, but the screen began flickering, showing distorted images. He saw fragments of his own life within the game, a picture of him in front of his mirror, his reflection staring back with dark eyes. A shot of his hallway, where a shadow moved slowly, a live camera feed his bedroom, captured from an unseen corner. Carlos felt nauseous. He tried to run, but his bedroom door wouldn't budge. He was trapped. Behind him, the computer emitted a screeching noise, and a new message appeared on the screen. Run. The screen showed his character sprinting down an endless hallway, being chased by something. At the same time, Carlos heard fast footsteps rushing toward him inside his room. Panic consumed him. He felt an icy breath on his neck. His instinct screamed at him not to turn around, not to look, but he couldn't help it. He turned, and there it was. A tall, thin figure with no face was watching him from the darkness. Carlos wanted to scream, but everything went black. The next day, his friends tried to contact him without success. They went to his house and found the door slightly open. Everything was intact, except for his computer. On the screen, the game was still running, with a new player added to the list, one with his name. Since then, some have found Eterna Noctis in dark corners of the internet. But if you decide to play it, well, you already know what happens.